Hello dear students. In my last video, we have started with chapter number 6, that is anatomy of flowering plants, from the unit 2, that is structural organization in organisms. We have finished with the meristematic tissues and then we started with the permanent tissues. In the permanent tissues, we saw that there are going to be two types of permanent tissues: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. The simple permanent tissues, we have studied three types, that is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Today, we are going to be starting with the next complex permanent tissue, and that is going to be of two types, that is xylem and phloem. So, what is going to be this complex permanent tissue? The complex permanent tissue is going to be that which is made up of more than one type of cell. They are made up of different type of cells, but these cells will work together as a unit to perform a particular function. So that is going to be the complex permanent tissues. That is, different type of tissues means maybe one parenchyma is there, one collenchyma is there, one sclerenchyma is there, and all these are going to be together performing one particular function. So the complex tissues are going to be of two types, that is the xylem and the phloem. So let us see both of them what they are. First one, the xylem. Xylem is going to be called as the conducting tissue, that is conducting tissue for water and minerals from the roots to the stem and the leaves. So it is going to be acting something like a pipeline which is pulling the water from the roots and taking it to the stem and the various parts of the plant like the leaves. So they are conducting the water. So those tissues which are going to be transporting the water, conducting the water, are going to be the xylem. It is also going to be providing the mechanical strength to the plant. Now these xylem are going to be made up of four type of tissues, and they are going to be tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers and xylem parenchyma. So first one, the tracheids. So tracheids are going to be dead cells. So they are going to be a kind of sclerenchyma, you can say. So tracheids are going to be dead cells which are having thick and lignified walls and tapering ends. You can see these both are going to be the tracheids. They are going to be having the tapering ends like you can see over here. In this, as they are dead, the protoplasm or the cytoplasm is absent. Also, we can see that the inner layers of the cell wall have some thickenings which can be of different forms. In flowering plants, the tracheids and the vessels are the main transporting elements. Coming to the second one, the vessels. Vessels are also dead tissues. They are also a type of parenchyma. A type of sclerenchyma. So these vessels are long, cylindrical, tube-like structures made up of many cells. So they are going to be made up of many cells, that is vessel members, each with lignified walls, that is thick walled. As you can see, these are going to be different from the tracheids because of their shape. They are going to be cylindrical. They are not having the tapering ends like the tracheids. Again, because they are dead, protoplasm is absent, and these vessel members are interconnected through perforations in their common walls. Perforations are nothing but the holes that you can see over here. The vessels are a characteristic feature of angiosperms. So the vessels you can see only in the angiosperms. It is not present in the gymnosperms, nor it is going to be present in the pteridophytes or bryophytes. No. Only in the angiosperms, the vessels are going to be the water conducting element that are found. Then, the third one are going to be xylem fibers. Again, these are going to be dead sclerenchyma, they have highly thickened walls and obligatory central lumens. They are septate or aseptate. So as you can see over here, these are going to be how these xylem fibers are going to be visible. Septate means they can be having a line over them, or aseptate means they can be plain tube like. So those are the xylem fibers. The last element of the xylem is going to be the xylem parenchyma. So this xylem parenchyma is going to be the one and only living tissue that is going to be present in the xylem. So it is living thin-walled cells with cellulozoic cell wall. They are going to be storing the food material, that is in the form of starch or fat, and also other substances like tannins. So the radial conduction of the water is taking place by a ray of parenchymatous cells. So these are going to be the four elements of the xylem that are going to be the tracheids, the vessels, the xylem fibers, and the xylem parenchyma. The first three, that is going to be a tracheids, vessels, and xylem fibers, are the dead tissues, whereas the xylem parenchyma is going to be the one and only living tissue of the xylem. Coming to the types of xylem, depending upon where the primary formed xylem is, there are two types of xylems. So they are protoxylem and metaxylem. Protoxylem. Proto is going to be the first formed primary xylem. When the plant is going to be small, even the xylem elements that will be formed will be smaller in size. When the plant will grow big, even the size of the vessels will grow big. So that which are going to be formed, the first formed, are going to be called as the protoxylem. They are going to be smaller in size. Whereas the metaxylem are going to be the later formed xylem, and they are going to be larger in size when compared to the protoxylem. Now, we can see that based upon where this protoxylem and metaxylem are present, there are two types of xylem element arrangements. We can see that is end arch and exarch. So in the stem, we can see that the protoxylem that is going to be there, that is the smaller elements that are going to be there, is going to be towards the center. So that is, suppose I take a stem and I am cutting it open and observing it in the microscope. That is, I cut a circular section of the stem and observe it into the microscope, then I will be able to observe that the smaller elements are going to be at the center. Here at the center, the smaller elements are going to be there, and as I am going to be going towards the edge, we can see that the elements are larger. So the protoxylem are going to be towards the center, and the metaxylem are going to be towards the periphery or towards the edges. We are going to be calling this type of a xylem as endarch xylem. Whereas in the case of the roots, we can see that the protoxylem is going to be lying towards the periphery, and the larger metaxylem are going to be coming at the center. So this type of the elements are going to be called as the exarch xylem. So endarch in stem, wherein the protoxylem are inside, metaxylem are outside. Whereas the exarch in root, wherein the metaxylem are inside and protoxylem are towards the outside. So these are going to be the two types of the xylems. Now, coming to the second important permanent tissue, that is going to be your phloem. Phloem is the food conducting tissue of the plant. Like the xylem is the water conducting tissue, in the same manner the phloem is going to be the food conducting tissue of the plant. We can see that the phloem is going to be present in the angiosperms, and these angiosperms are going to be having complete four elements in their phloem, and they are going to be the sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. These are the four elements of the phloem in angiosperms. In gymnosperms, they are incomplete. So in gymnosperms, only albuminous cells and sieve tubes are present. Whereas the sieve tubes and the companion cells are absent. So sieve cells are present and sieve tubes are absent in the case of the gymnosperms. So let us study each one of them in detail. So first one, the sieve tube elements. So what are these sieve tube elements? So we can see that these are long tube-like structures arranged longitudinally and are associated with companion cells. So they are going to be in close association with the companion cells. So these are going to be your companion cells. Associated to them, these are going to be your sieve tubes. Their end walls are perforated to form a sieve plate. So each of the cell is going to be having some pores, and these are going to be arranged on a plate-like structure. So they are known as sieve plates. A mature sieve element has a peripheral cytoplasm and a large vacuole, but it is not going to be having any nucleus. The function of the sieve tube are usually going to be controlled by the nucleus of the companion cell, and hence they are found in close association with the companion cell, because this companion cell only is going to be controlling all the activities of the sieve tubes. Then coming to the sieve tube elements, next point, here we can see that the first formed primary xylem. So we'll come to this later, So here we can see the companion cells is going to be the next one. So these companion cells, when we are going to be talking about, so these are going to be the specialized parenchymatous cells associated with the sieve tube elements. And sieve tube elements and companion cells are connected by pit fields present between their common longitudinal walls. So the main function of these companion cells are going to be to maintain the pressure gradient in sieve tubes. So the parenchymatous cells are going to be associated with the companion cells. The last one, coming to the phloem parenchyma. So phloem parenchyma is going to be made up of elongated, tapering, cylindrical cells which have dense cytoplasm and nucleus. The cell wall is composed of cellulose and has pits through which plasmodesmatal connections exist between the cell. So all these four, whether it is the phloem parenchyma, whether it is going to be a sieve tube element, companion cells and sieve plates, all these are going to be in association with each other through the connection, that is plasmodesmata, which is present to connect all the tissues. The phloem parenchyma is going to be absent usually in the monocotyledons, but they are present in the dicots. The main function of the phloem parenchyma is to store food material and other substances like resins, latex and mucilage. So these are going to be the phloem parenchyma. The last is going to be the phloem fibers. So until now we have studied the companion cells, the sieve tubes and the phloem parenchyma. All these three are going to be the living tissues of the phloem. But the phloem fibers are going to be the dead tissues of the phloem. They are the sclerenchymatous tissues, dead tissues. So they are generally absent in the primary phloem, whereas these are elongated, unbranched and have pointed needle-like apices. So cell wall is quite thick. So you can see over here these type of elements you can see. At maturity, these fibers lose protoplasm and they become dead. Phloem fibers of jute, flax, hemp are going to be commercially used. The main function of this phloem fibers is going to be to give mechanical support and protection to the soft tissue. So these are going to be the four elements of the phloem, that is the companion cells, sieve tubes, phloem parenchyma and phloem fibers. Now about the types of the phloem, we can see over here that the phloem are usually going to be of two types, same like that of your xylem. So they are going to be the protoxylem and the metaxylem. The first formed primary phloem are going to be called as protoxylem, which consists of narrow sieve tubes. The sieve tubes are smaller. whereas the later formed are going to be the metaxylem, which are having larger sieve tubes. So that is going to be the two types of phloem, that is protophlloem and metaphlloem. So finally, let us just summarize whatever we have learned in the last two videos. So we have studied the plant tissues. The plant tissues are going to be usually of two types, meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. The meristematic tissues can be of two types, apical meristems, intercalary meristems and secondary or lateral meristems. The apical meristems are again divided into two, that is root apical meristem and shoot apical meristems. The permanent tissues are going to be of the two types, that is simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is going to be the living tissue, living storage tissue. Collenchyma is the living mechanical tissue, whereas sclerenchyma is the dead mechanical tissue. Remember, sclerenchyma is going to be a dead tissue, whereas parenchyma and collenchyma are the living tissues. Xylem, the complex tissues are two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem is a water conducting tissue. It is going to be made up of three dead elements and one living element. The three dead elements are going to be tracheids, vessels and xylem fibers. And one living tissue is going to be the xylem parenchyma. Whereas the phloem tissue is made up of three living tissues and one dead tissue. So the three living tissues are the sieve tube elements, companion cells and phloem parenchyma. Whereas the dead tissue is the phloem fibers. So this is going to be all about the plant tissues.